guys, welcome to another pedal modifications video. I'm Colin and we're back here with the Crybaby Wah Wah pedal. Last time I added a true bypass switch and an LED, which improved the wah pedal something incredible. But now I've been looking at the circuitry within the pedal itself. What can be done there? Can we give it a different vocal style? There's a lot of different little EQing things we can do with just changing a couple of resistors inside this thing. So you can have your own customised wah tone for very little effort. Let's get into it. Within the Crybaby circuitry, there are two pairs of resistors that will affect both the gain and the EQ settings of the pedal itself. Let's firstly look at those that control the gain. The first gain resistor we've got to consider is this one here. This is the input gain resistor. After coming from the input buffer, which is this section of components here, we get our first look at the gain. This resistor will determine how much gain there's going to be through the rest of the pedal. So changing this will provide either more or less gain. The second resistor that deals with gain is this one here. But this one has the added advantage of also determining how much bass response the pedal will have. For my first modification, I'll be switching out this resistor for one of a lower value. This one here is currently at 390 ohms and I'm going to drop it to around about 330. That should give me a bit more bass response and a little bit more gain. If that's not sufficient, I'll drop it further, which may give me a good bass response but too much gain. But that's okay, because this one only affects the gain. So even if there's too much gain when I change this one, I can always change this resistor to compensate. Our second pair of resistors deal with what is called the Q factor. The Q factor determines which range of frequencies will be boosted by the pedal. Raising the value of this resistor hidden in here will tighten up or narrow down the Q band here, and that will make the effect far more vocal. You will really hear the wah there. The second resistor that concerns the Q factor is this one here. Now that is the mid-range resistor. Increasing the value of this resistor will not only boost the mid-range, but give a more even sweep throughout the range of frequencies. So by changing this one, we should have an more even wah with more pronounced mid-range. That coupled with increasing this one here to narrow down the Q band, so we've got a more vocal effect, should produce a sweeter, smoother and far more obvious wah. So what have I done to this circuit board? Well, I changed out the bass and gain resistor from a 390 down to a 330, and that really opened up the bass response of the pedal. We got really a lot of wah down on the low end. It did boost the gain quite a bit to the point where it was a bit hissy when the toe was right down. So I added in a 10k resistor to the 68k resistor here, totaling that up to a 78k, which brought the gain back down again while retaining the extended bass response. The mid-range resistor here I changed from a 1.5k up to a 2.2k resistor, and that really did even out the sweep what the pedal has and gave it a good bit of mid-range. So it's a really quite a nice frequency curve the pedal has now, thanks to that resistor. For the Q factor emphasis mod, or the vocal mod as it's quite commonly known, I took off the resistor that was in here and mounted one to the bottom of the board, only because it was quite tricky to get into that little space. It was a 33k resistor in there, and I ramped up that to 47k. I could have gone up to about 68, but I thought that the 47 was a drastic enough change. I didn't want to push it too far. So that's what modifications I made to that board. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 resistors been changed. It didn't take me very long at all. It took me minutes to remove them and place the other ones in, but it made a drastic change to the sound. If you're only going to do one of these modifications, I very strongly suggest this one, the bass and gain resistor here. Change that out to about 330 or maybe even lower. What this will do will give your pedal much more wah into the bass end, and that just makes such a difference. The improved gain is also an advantage, especially if you've done the true bypass mod before this, which sometimes decreases the gain when the pedal's on, so nice to boost it back up. But if it does get too much, you can just increase the value of the resistors here, and that will balance it all out. For these sound comparisons, I'm going to be using an unmodified wah pedal, which you can see on the left here, and on the right is the wah pedal with all the modifications. So we'll see which one sounds better, how they sound different. I'm going to be going through the shite Paul into the Bugera head. It's 333 Infinium with the EL34s. That'll be coming through the speaker in this Marshall cabinet, which is the Celestion Hot 100, and it's all going to be picked up by this Rode NT2A mic. Your own custom wah tone is just a few minutes of modification away. A couple of salvage resistors and a little bit of soldering skill and that's you done. These modifications don't take long at all to do. Within half an hour you'll have your own custom sound. If you're looking for a bit more tweakability and experimentation, you can change those resistors I showed you and replace them with sub-miniature potentiometers around the value that you're looking for. Having a variable resistance on those things will be able to let you change it gradually without having to pull bits on and off the board, and then you'll be able to just tweak exactly where you want your sound. So if you're really looking to go all out and experiment, try that one. If you're just trying to go for a little bit of an improvement, hey, slam in some resistor values and see which one you like. And remember, there's no right or wrong to this. Change the values to whatever you like, to whatever sounds best to you, and you'll have your own wah pedal with your own wah sound. Take care, guys.